Yesterday we were discussing. Today is Vishwarup Mahotsav. Mahaprabhu is Swayam Krishna himself, taking the bhav and the mode and complexion of Srimati Radhika to appear the Mahaprabhu. And he's giving teachings to the jivas of this world. How we should chant holy names and do the bhajan like this. And at the same time, Mahaprabhu, he's also with his own behavior. He's also relishing this Nam Rasa Madhurja, the sweetness of holy names. He relishes the sweetness of holy names. So Krishna is same, Mahaprabhu is same Krishna, appearing as Mahaprabhu with the bhava and color of Srimati Radhika. Yesterday we were discussing. We were discussing this look about the 3 reasons that this lobha came in, like a greed came in heart of Krishna, for 3 reasons. Krishna was thinking, I am Rasa Swarup, embodiment of Rasa. And I have relished all the Madhuryas, the sweetness of Vraja, all the rasas, like Dasa, Sakya, Vatsalya. I have relished everything, Krishna was thinking. Sorry. But this, I couldn't relish actually this Prema Madhurya of Srimati Radhika completely. I couldn't relish that. This pranay, this love she has for me. What is this? So we discussed this. When Srimati Radhika sees me, she becomes crazy, pagalini. Third, after relishing my sweetness and my form, my beauty, which kind of realization, feeling Srimati Radhika feels in her heart? So, to fulfill these 3 desires, or 3 greeds, Krishna himself, he took the bhav, mode and kanti, means complexion of Srimati Radhika, appeared as Mahaprabhu. Very beautiful conception about all this we were discussing before. This Radha Prema is so condensed and that even makes Krishna himself dance. So Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami explains. Which is this prem which is in the heart of Srimati Radhika? What is this prem? Krishna is thinking that makes me. So by saying this transcendental prem, this condensity of the prem of Srimati Radhika, another thing, when we do the Brajamandala Parikrama, when we go to the Prem Sarovar, do you know the Prem Sarovar, that Parikrama? What is it? In the middle of Nandagaon and Barshana, and especially is near Sanket, where Krishna plays the flute and attract the gopis. Is in the middle between Sanket and Barshana. So near Prem Sarovar there is one konda called Bihal Konda. Bihal Konda. You should not forget the Brajamandala Parikrama. Braj is such a place that if you go there, all these sentiments automatically appear in you. So Vihal Konda, this place near Prem Sarovar, one lake Konda. Radha Krishna, they were feeling so much eagerness to meet to each other. So Prem Sarovar is one way, and then the Parikrama, the other side is this Vihal Konda. If you sit far, you're not listening to anything, sit close. Vihal Konda. So how Radha Krishna, they feel so much eagerness to meet each other because of their love. Okay, sorry. Pejunius na frase. Sorry. So, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami says and describes here. What did Krishna say? Shrimati Radhika is my guru in prem, of love. And I'm her disciple. Two divisions of prem. Milan, meeting, and Viraha, separation. Sambhog and Vipalamba, this is called like this also. But actually both are same, or one. Both are one. Just like, for example, a coin. A coin. The two sides of the coin, they have the same value. Like one side of the coin is written like, for example, 1, and the other side there is some symbol. But both sides, they have the same value. It's just two sides of the same coin. So in the same way, in the realm of Prem, there are two things: Viraha Milan, Milan Viraha, meeting, separation. So in the realm of Prem, these two things manifest. So Rupa Goswami also describes this. Rupa Goswami describes in this sloka, Navi Navi Pralambena, this sloka, he says, what is the duty of Vipralamba? To nourish the meeting, make the meeting become even like higher and more tasteful, everything. So the more you have the Vipralamba, the separation, more you'll be eager to get what you want. In this material world, also we see this. For example, if two people, they separate, they are far from each other, lover and beloved. If they separate like they are far from each other, you know this separation, then they'll be so eager to meet each other again. Although in this material world there's no prem, everything here is called kam, means lust. So the definition of kam and prem, lust, and prem, love. When you have the desire to fulfill, to give happiness to your own senses, this is kam, lust. And when you want to give pleasure to the senses of Krishna and to only Krishna, You have no any other desire in your heart except for giving pleasure to Krishna and happiness to him. This is prem, love. But for the gopis, this prem of the gopis we speak about, actually this is a transcendental lust. This transcendental lust of the gopis is their prem. The prem of the gopis is transcendental lust. Like for gopis, it's the same. But we should remember the difference between lust and love. Kam and prem. Kam is like the darkness. Lust is like darkness, and prem is like the scorching and brilliant rays of the sun. Prem is completely pure and spotless. There's not even any stain, not even scratch, nothing, not any spot, nothing, spotless. What is the spot that there's not in the prem? For example, there's not any kind of desire for your own happiness or own happiness of your senses and anything. So whatever gopis they do, whatever they do, it's only for happiness of Krishna only. We cannot not even think about this, because in this material world, the prema we speak about, somehow there will be some desire for your own happiness. So let's not speak about this material love here. But for example, even Rukmini and Satyabhama, one of the 1608 queens of Krishna, right? They also serve Krishna, but actually still this prema that they show for Krishna and all, this prema of them is divided. Prem Vivajan means divided. Prem is divided. Samanjasarat. That's why their prem is called Samanjasa. Means their prem is divided. Because they have daughters and sons, and then like this the prema gets divided. After the marriage, they only loved Krishna. After the wedding, sorry, they only loved Krishna. But then after they have babies and children, then this love becomes divided. Or in Mathura, for example, the Kubja Prem is called Sadharani Prem. Kubja's Prem is called Sadharani Prem. But this Prem of Gopis is called Samartha Prem. Krishna becomes controlled by this Prem. It's all this not mundane, it's completely like there are so many definitions of Prem, you know. From Ujjwala Nilamani Bhakt and others. Vidagda Madhavanatakan also explains the definition of Prem with examples. But we see that the topmost definition of Prem is even if there is some cause for the destruction of Prem, actually these causes make the Prema increase only, more and more. This is the definition of Prem, topmost definition. So there's even more subtle definition of Prem. You know which one is the more subtle definition? Prema means one tear. One tear, yeah, uma lágrima. For example, I'll give an example. Shrimati Radhika is very suffering because she wants to meet Krishna. Shrimati Radhika. And she's so much ignorance to meet Krishna. So she's thinking of Krishna. Lalita Devi comes. Do one thing. Write a letter to Krishna. And to see how you can meet each other. Lalita Devi gives like a paper to Shrimati Radhika. And also a pen. A pen of a peacock feather. You know those old kinds of pen to write, you know. And also one fruit or something that was like the ink. A little bit on something. Eu não entendi muito bem. Um negócio aí que tinha que era tipo uma tinta. So on this paper, Shrimati Radhika was writing a letter to Krishna. Like, She was like invoking Krishna, or calling him, referring to him. Then she took the pen, the feather, no, this old kind of pen. Then she became immersed thinking about Krishna. So first you have to write, oh, my beloved Krishna, like addressing. You know, the letter comes like this. First you invoke, like address the person you're talking to. So she could not even put the ko, means the K of Krishna name. She just put the tip of the like pen or this feather, you know. She just put the first like dots, and she was going to start writing. Then she started freaking of Krishna. She was going to write his name and started thinking about him, thinking of Krishna. All her. She started remembering all of like Krishna's Spurti and all this Spurti visions of the past times and everything. Thinking about Krishna. And then she became Krishna Mai. She was thinking she was Krishna. So she had to write the letter to Krishna. Because Srimati Radhika was writing the letter to Krishna. But then she became so absorbed thinking about Krishna, she was thinking she was Krishna. So now she was writing the letter to Srimati Radhika. Because she was thinking she was Krishna. She could not even write anything. Just thinking. So the prem transforms so much. It becomes like whirlpool. Like I'm talking about Mahaprabhu. Like for example, Mahaprabhu is Krishna and he's thinking he's Radha. So in this Leela of Srimati Radhika, she was Radha, but she was thinking at that moment that she was Krishna. And writing letter to his beloved Srimati Radhika. She was only crying, crying and crying. So much separation she was feeling. And then, first, Srimati Radhika was separation from Krishna, feeling separation from Krishna, but now Radha was thinking she was Krishna. So she was feeling separation and suffering from whom? From Radha, like she was feeling separation from Radha now. So Radha is feeling separation for Radha and suffering of separation for herself, because she was thinking she was Krishna. Do you understand? And she could not write anything. She just put one dot of the pen and just crying, crying and crying. Radha, Srimati Radhika herself, feeling separation from Krishna, whatever she was supposed to write. She was thinking she was Krishna, and then now she was writing a letter to Srimati Radhika. So this bhav came, and she was just crying. Crying very much, crying so much. So, the Gaudiya Vaishnavas, they say, who is feeling separation for whom? Srimati Radhika is suffering separation for Krishna? Or Krishna is suffering separation for Radha? Tell me. Do you understand? According to the conception of Gaudiya Vaishnava, there is no. Krishna is suffering separation for Srimati Radhika. Krishna is suffering separation from Srimati Radhika. Understand? No. So, if it's necessary, if it's necessary for you to get something, then you'll be eager for that. So, Krishna wants to. Okay. Krishna needs Srimati Radhika, so he's suffering to meet her. So I'll come back to Srimati Radhika. Lalita knows the bhava of Srimati Radhika. When she was crying, Radha was crying, could not write the letter. Lalita knows the heart of Srimati Radhika. Just like in the Leela of Mahaprabhu. Who knows the heart of Mahaprabhu? Who knew Swarup Damodar? Chaitanya Charitamrita is written. Who only knew the bhava of Mahaprabhu? Swarup Damodar. Now I'm speaking about Gaura Lila, Mahaprabhu Lila. Gaura Lila. Krishna Lila, Gaura Lila. So in the time of Ratha Yatra, when Mahaprabhu was dancing in front of Jagannath, Mahaprabhu is Krishna himself. He is Krishna inside. And externally, Gauravagni. Like a fresh complexion. But Mahaprabhu was thinking, I am Radha. This was his feeling. Always Mahaprabhu was thinking, I am Radha. And my beloved Krishna left me and went away. Today, after so many days, I am finally meeting my beloved Krishna. You know this Jagannath? After so many days, I am meeting my beloved Govinda. Lakshmati Radhika is feeling this. So Radha is thinking, I am Radha now meeting with my beloved Govinda. So after a long separation, so Dirgha Vipralamba, this meeting which happens, how much this, so much eagerness to meet the beloved and so much happiness is not possible to explain. What is this? That our Chandidas and other great poets wrote about this. In what this in the separation stage or meeting stage, whatever they feel, these poets describe a little bit. For example, after a long separation, so Dirgha Vipralamba, this meeting which happens, takes place, they feel so much utkanta, eagerness to meet her beloved, their beloved. So much utkanta, eagerness. So you know, in the Vrindavana Lila, I was describing. So some Saki told, hey Radhe, give me your beloved Govinda to me. And whatever wealth you want, you can take. Whatever wealth you want in exchange, like money, anything, jewels, you know, then you can take. If somebody tells me that I'll give you all the jewels and money and wealth in exchange of Govinda, Srimati Radhika says, not even for one moment, I will give my Govinda up. Like I'll be separate from him and give him up. Give him to another person like this. This song explains. I will not send him far. In the time of winter, you want just like a very, very nice, hot, like how to say, the scarf, you know, warm scarf. You want the blanket, all this. Just like, for example, in the time of the summertime, you want a very light and gentle breeze, you know, so that gives the bliss in your heart because it makes you fresh, you know, the breeze. So all this is described in the song. When our Chandidas, Vidyapati, in their Bangla Kirtans in Bengali, they showed so much this bhav. If you don't learn the Bengali, okay, so these bhavs are on Bengali, so to really know this, you have to learn Bengali. You understand? You have to learn Bengali. You have to eat rice and have to learn Bengali. If you want really to put these all katas in your heart, you need to learn Bengali. Yesterday, what did I say? What did I give? You have to develop your bhajan. Because you have to develop or evolve, develop, progress, you know, your bhajan and all. Because where will you get all these bhavs? In Hindi, there's something about this. For example, he said some, I name a person, I don't know, like for example, Surya Das, some poets in Braj language and Hindi, they wrote some things about this. Also, Raskan, another poets, Surya Das and Raskan, they did Hindi kirtans. Very beautiful, this all these bhavas. Yeah, something is there, but if you really think about it, you see that this Vidyapada Chanidas, they describe these prems, this spotless prem in their kirtan. And you cannot get this in any other literature, Gurudev said. In any other literature, you cannot get this such beautiful prem, these sentiments of the prem. This expression of the inner court of the heart. Where do you get this? If it's not in like this, these Chanidas and like these kinds of poets. So this prem is so like transcendental, and Vidyapada and Chanidas, they describe this. And after that, Mahaprabhu, like the associates of Mahaprabhu. So there is a before Chaitanya Yuga and after Chaitanya Yuga. Like before Mahaprabhu would come, all these people who came before Mahaprabhu, for example, Vidyapada, Chandidas, they came before Mahaprabhu to this world, not before. And in their like a poetry work, they expressed all these transcendental bhavs. And when Mahaprabhu came, also the Parikaras of Mahaprabhu came. For example, Rupa Goswami, Raghunath Das, and these associates of Mahaprabhu in such a beautiful language and manifested even more and like more beautiful, even more. Just like for example the books of Rupa Goswami, the slokas he wrote, Rupa Goswami, like Vidada Madhav Nataka. Also the books of Raghunath Das Goswami, in a very beautiful way. They manifest even more like the bhav very beautifully. So Vishwanath Chakravarti also it's such a Rasikacharya, so much realized, and he even described like in an even more beautiful way this old prem. He described Vishwanath Chakravarti. Because in this realm of prem, only Gaudiya Vaishnavas, they can like for example, those who don't come into the Gaudiya Vaishnava line. For example, this process of bhajan under the guidance of Rupa Sanatan, those who don't enter in this bhajan under the guidance of Rupa Sanatan, then all these bhavas is very far for them. How to get this if it's not like here in the Gaudiya Vaishnavism? Because Mahaprabhu is Krishna himself, who took the bhav and kanti, mold and complexion of Srimati Radhika. He relished all these bhavas, and he manifested this in the hearts of Rupa and Raghunath. Mahaprabhu established these moods in the heart of Rupa and Raghunath. That's why all these beautiful bhavas. Until nowadays, any person can speak any Harikatha, but the Harikatha will be nourished by these shlokas of Rupa and Raghunath. Then this essence of Harikatha comes out in a very beautiful way, manifests. Even the Mayavadi people, Advaitavadi, monists, impersonalists, they say Aham Brahmasmi, I am God. Even they, when they speak Harikatha, Katha, they also recite, they quote the slokas of Rupa and Raghunath. This is the thing. Because the bhava is so beautiful. They manifest the bhavas in such a beautiful way, Gurudev also used to say, you should learn some Bengali. Then you'll be able to read and meditate in all these books. And then you can develop, understand. We're speaking about developed, underdeveloped, and developing countries. In the realm of love, also these things. This, how can you develop or grow your transcendental life? Because Bhaktivinoda Thakur also used to say that. Sorry? People think that love is like the love between Romeo and Juliet, for example. Like Western people. People think this is love, this was love, like, the idealistic prem like this. But actually not. It's not. This prem of the Western countries, this is actually not love. Prem is such a beautiful definition of prem. What is the actual prem? True prem. And also, for example, in the time of Vikramaditya and the Kalidas, the time, they wrote so many things about prem. In their literature, they wrote about Sakuntala and other. Another book also. In these books, they also are explaining about the separation between lover and beloved. But it's also all about material love, these books. But the transcendental poets, it's like Rupa Goswami, and in the line, whoever comes in the line of Rupa Goswami, they are speaking about transcendental things. They are speaking about transcendental sentiments of prem, meeting and separation. Sorry, this is the contribution and speciality of Mahaprabhu. This bhav Mahaprabhu established in the heart of Rupa Goswami. And Rupa Goswami, he manifested even in a more beautiful way, and also put in the heart of Jiva Goswami and Raghunath Das Goswami. If you think about like Rupanuga, the topmost Rupanuga, who comes in tell me who is the topmost in Rupanuga line? Raghunath Das Goswami, Jiva Goswami also. So much special. They show a speciality. Just think about in the assembly of the Panitas, in the assembly of the Rasik people. We think like, what is the actual contribution of Mahaprabhu? In commentary, Jiva Goswami wrote in the Tika for the first sloka of the Bhagavatam, Janmadasa Jataha, he wrote, Adi Kavaye. Who is the first poet? Adi Kavi. According to Bhagavad, the first poet is Lord Brahmaji. Understand? According to Tata Darshan. Adi Kavi Brahma. Like Narayana, he manifested everything, all Tattva manifested in the heart of Brahmaji. Understand? He manifested all the Tattvas in the heart of Brahmaji. According to Bhagavatam, this is described. How Brahmaji, he manifested in the lotus from the navel of God. And he didn't say anything anywhere, and he was thinking, whoa, why did I was created? Why was I created? Then after making for 1,000 years austerity, like even Brahma tried to come to the root of the lotus. Like he was following the stem of lotus until to the root, but he could not find the end actually of the lotus. Because God is Ananta, is endless. Who can find the end of God? Bhagavan is Ananta, means infinite. Anantadev, he has no end. So Brahmaji, he was, the stem of the lotus. He was trying to go down, like to search the root of the lotus to know, where have I come from? But he could not find. In this world, everything has an end. But Bhagavan, he is Ananta, he has no end. He has no end. So Brahmaji was even tired of searching for the root of the lotus. Then he came back. Then in this moment he heard two sounds, two syllables. To, po. To, I, po. Means tap karo, means do austerity. Tap. So Brahmaji started doing austerity. like pronouncing Om, for example, doing this mantra, doing austerity. Then he had a spurti, like a vision in his heart of whatever he needed to do. He had a vision, how to create and all. Bhagavan gave this inspiration in his heart. And also how to do the creation, everything. Narayana manifested in the heart of Brahmaji. Sorry. So that's why the Bhagavatam explains that Brahma is Adi Kavi, his first poet. First poet is Brahma. But Rasikacharya explains who is actually Adi Kavi, first poet? Rupa Goswami. And who inspired the heart of Rupa Goswami? Of all this prem? Mahaprabhu himself. Like Narayana. So Narayana Goswami inspired the heart of Brahmaji, and Mahaprabhu inspired the heart of Rupa Goswami. So who became Adi Kavi? Rupa Goswami. Who became first poet? Rupa Goswami. Like the sentiments of Prem, such a beautiful way he described, even all the demigods, and they cannot even think about this. They become like bewildered. Teja Varimridam, this first slok of Bhagavatam. This in Prem they become with another nature, like the opposite nature. Prem is such a thing that changes everything. For example, those living entities who stay only in one place, they start walking because of Prem. And those living entities who walk, generally, they become stunned, like they don't move because of Prem. Prem makes this, changing the nature of the things. In the Venu Gita, we see this. The Venudhani of Govinda, sound of flute of Krishna, is so sweet that the Jamuna and all the rivers of Vrindavan, rivers like Manasiganga also, what happens to the flow of their waters? The flow of the water stops, doesn't continue, like stops, becomes stunned. The water stops flowing. Sorry. The water still continues coming, the water is coming, but it's not going down, not going ahead or forward. So it becomes a whirlpool of the water. This is the water of Venugita of God, sound of the flute. Everything becomes like opposite to what they are. This is always described. All they become with the opposite nature of whatever they already have. All so beautiful descriptions. If you read one slok of Venugita, for example, the first slok of Bhagavatam also, how many days it take? All the Bhagavatam actually is in this first slok of Bhagavatam. We do the Bhagavad Sapta, 7 days of speaking Bhagavatam. But actually we're just speaking here and there Katha, like other Harikathas. But in this, if you just study this one first slok of Bhagavatam, Janmadasa Jataha, and how many days it will take to describe only this sloka? 700 days. 700 days to describe. And even like this will not be finished. Because such a beautiful sloka. Janmadasa Jataha. You can see? So beautiful. Actually, this first slok of Bhagavatam, actually, everything is in this slok. Like Tejavaramridam, this part of shloka also explains how in Prem, the things, they change their nature. And Rupa Goswami Pada explained even more all these Prem things. So this is the process of bhajan pranali. Chanting holy names, you should think about these things. This is the process of bhajan. So everything becomes like an opposite nature because of the prem. So what I was speaking about? Yeah, I was describing. I was speaking about this Chaitanya Yuga. Pre-Chaitanya Yuga, before and also after. After the advent of Mahaprabhu. Before Mahaprabhu come to this world. Like Vidyapada and Chandidas, all these, they came before Mahaprabhu. They were also not inferior, they were nothing less. They were, but Vidyapada and Chandidas, all this, they wrote about what? Prema Katha in a very beautiful way. Yeah, this is true. Like I was speaking. How Srimati Radhika is feeling so many bhavas, expressing her heart after meeting her Govinda, beloved Govinda. This song now Gurudev is speaking is from them. I think Chandidasa Vidyapati. Like, so all these bhavas. Or after a long separation, so Dirgha Vipralamba, they feel such ananda, bliss in the heart, that you don't, even for a second, you don't want to be far from your beloveds again. Understand? So they came from, before Mahaprabhu they came, Vidyapati Chandidas, these poets. But then, Mahaprabhu, he even relished even more all this prem. How he relished these bhavas of Srimati Radhika, Mahaprabhu. And then, this bhava and prem, Mahaprabhu established in the hearts of Rupa and Raghunath. So, in the books of Rupa and Raghunath, this even more beautifully manifested and established and expressed in such a spotless way and beautiful way. Because we can understand a person's bhajan when you see his literary work. Like when you see the books he wrote. For example, sometimes you speak something and sometimes you write. When you speak, so many bhavas they come. There's not the fluency, it's not staying. Fluency. When you spoke, you don't have this. For example, according to the person who is listening also, you have to speak. According to the listener, you have to speak accordingly. Some listeners are sleeping. Then you have to speak that the 4 daughters of Jamaharaj will come for them. And the person continues sleeping, isn't it? So you feel sleepy in the katha. So to make them not to sleep, you have to tell them the story of the 4 daughters of Jamaharaj. So you have to speak the story. And do some JJ Sri Radhe also, and the person wake up, so that the person wake up. Yesterday I told there are 3 kinds of listeners. One who is only sleeping, Sota, Srota, those who listen, and Sorota, those who are just speaking their own katha, like in the back, speaking about other things. But when you write a book, you have to write in sequence. If you write something, some paperwork, you describe the bhav like in a sequence in a very nice way. And alone, you do everything. So that's why Rupa Sanatana, they wrote so many nice and beautiful books. With so much difficulty. Why they wrote all these books? Did they write all these books with so much difficulty? And how did they write? They were sitting alone and writing all these books. Just like, you have heard about Rupa Goswami. He used to sit in Terikadamba. And he was writing these books. Like, for example, if he was writing separation books, writing about separation bhav, all the flowers and leaves of the trees would fall down, like become dry and fall down. He was writing, like crying, and then he was writing shlokas of meeting. Then all the trees near him would manifest new leaves and new flowers and fruits, everything new. When he was writing the books, Rupa Goswami. So the writer, when he's writing, he's describing all these bhavas, expressing. If you speak, you speak like the speaking, you know. According to the listener also you have to speak, you know. Okay. But if you're speaking to a person which has the same mood, special mood, not any second, not any third, then you can speak explaining all your bhavas. That's why Parasparano Katanam. When two devotees they meet each other, if they have the same mood of each other, then it's like not a person who is sleeping in Harikatha, and also not a Sorotas, person who is speaking their own Katha, but Srota, proper listener. Then you can describe properly your mood while speaking Harikatha. Just like Rupa Sanatana, you heard, there was not any third person with them when discussing Harikatha. A third person came to listen to Harikatha, sat down, like Rupa Sanatana, they were speaking about the first sloka of Bhagavatam. Rupa Sanatana, they were describing first sloka of Bhagavatam, speaking Harikatha to each other. They were describing such sweetness of Prem. They could not see anything else. And there are no, but the third person came to listen to this katha. Who came? Who was the third person? Shrimati Radhika. Why? Because she wanted to listen to all these kathas which they were speaking. So when a Premi Bhakta meet each other, then they give and receive all these bhavas to each other. When you receive the bhava to each other, when they have the same mood. When I speak about sadhu sangha, topmost definition of sadhu sangha is like this. Parasparano Katanam. Like there they have the same mood and they're exchanging this to each other. This is the meaning of what I want to say. So they're describing so beautifully all this sloka. So the speaker like this and also listener like this. So Rupa Sanatana and also Raghunath Das, when they all these devotees, they used to meet each other. Like who's the topmost or main speaker of Bhagavatam? Main speaker of Bhagavatam is Shukadeva Goswami and main listener is Parikshit Maharaj. Parikshit Maharaj was listening. He was the main listener, but also many people also came to listen to Bhagavatam. Many people came also, they were listening. When the Bhagavatam, the place of the Bhagavatam, when this Harikatha was going on, like this circumstance where Shukadeva was speaking, 3 adhivations are very important. Adhivashana means that like a time of, like a situation where Bhagavatam was speaking. For example, first is when Vyasanarada Samvad. Second, Shukta Tarli, which is the Shuka Parikit Samvad. So this Bhagavatam here is like the Bhagavatam is like Shuka Parikit Samvad, conversation between Shuka and third adhivashana, where was it? In the banks of Gomadi River in Nemisharanya. Who was there? Sutta Sanaka Dirishi. So it was Sutta Goswami was there with Shaunaka Adirishis. Means Shaunaka Rishi and all other rishis. So 3 adhivations means 3 circumstances in which the Bhagavatam was spoken, like 3 moments like this. So you should remember this, you know. So 3 adhivations, like 3 circumstances, main 3 circumstances which the Bhagavatam was spoken. Do you remember which one was the 3? You can tell. So first was Samyak Prayash. In the banks of Saraswati River. Samyak Prayash. In Badikashram. Vyasa Narada Samvad. Conversation between Vyasa and Narad. Second adivation. Shukartali. Shuka Parikit Samvad. So second adivation. This Shuktarali, this place is in the bank of the Ganga. Very beautiful place. This place where Shukadeva Swami spoke Bhagavatam. Under a tree. The place is so beautiful. In the bank of the Ganges, like such a beautiful and spotless place. If you go there, you'll feel so happy to see this place. There's a Gauriya Mata there. One time I went with Gurudeva there. Such a beautiful place. Have you been there? Shukartali. Nobody went? Has no one gone? Nobody went there? Such a beautiful place. In the bank of the Ganga. So Shukadeva Goswami was sitting. And 1,000 people came to listen to the Bhagavatam. Rishis, Munis. All they gathered to listen to the Katha. Even karmis, gyanis, yogis. Like when there's some people gather, like at 10 people gathered. People who see, they also want to know what is going on there. Why so many people there? You know? People just want to come to see what is going on, you know, like they see some people gather, oh, but let me see what is going on there also. Then some people just came to it's curiosity, you know. People want to see what is going on. Like for example, take prasad in the plate. And for example, we throw the plate in somewhere and other people see you throwing, and think, oh, I should also throw there, you know. When there is bandara, means feasting in Mathura. Here's the dustbin, you should throw here. But nobody throws the plate in the dustbin. But if another person throws the plate in another place, and everyone will think, oh, I should also throw there. Even though it's written in one place, this is the dustbin. But nobody even reads what is the dustbin, like the sign of the dustbin. But where there's more plates on the floor, like a throne in one place, then you think, oh, this is the place to throw, you know? The India is like this. India is like this. In the Western countries, not like this. People read what is the dustbin. They are looking for the dustbin. They not throw anywhere the garbage. So the Westerns, they're like this. Even a small kid, they if you throw some paper on the floor, the mother will say, hey, take this and put in the proper dustbin. Put in the dustbin. Not put anywhere. You should not litter, you know, just throw anywhere the garbage. You should put in the dustbin. The mother teaches the kid. But here in India, no. No problem. Even the mother takes the garbage for the kid, and puts herself in the dustbin. No, like the mother doing herself, not teaching the kid. If you don't teach the kid will never learn. The children. So that's why so much litter in India, like garbage everywhere. Because Western countries so strict. For example, in Singapore, so many rules they have, the government, and you have to follow so many rules. And maybe they give you a fine of $2,000. Like if the people see you litter, like throw garbage anywhere, then they catch you and you have to pay a fine. A small country. Everywhere there's CCTV, security cameras everywhere in Singapore. It's a clean country, really. We're trying to do this, but how possible? Like we're trying to do, the government also trying to clean India, but it's very difficult because so much samskar is there. We have to make this samskar, these good impressions of how to do this. Just like I told, the Western mother, you know, Western mother will tell her own son, take this from the floor and put in the dustbin. See my son, where you have to put the garbage. It's written, dustbin, you have to throw there. And then like this, the mother teaches the son. But for us, this doesn't. The mother herself takes from the floor and puts the garbage in the dustbin. The mother here in India, they don't teach the baby, oh, you should do. What I was speaking this? Adivation? So I was speaking. So the second adivation was in a very beautiful place at the bank of the Ganga. So everybody was gathered. Many rishis. How many? 88,000 rishis came. Karmis, Gyanis, Yogis. Ahuta? What is this? Ahuta. Okay, so, and so many sadhus they came, and so many they were curious, just only curious, like what is all these rishis coming here? Then they also want to go and see what is going on. So in the assembly of these persons, Shukadeva Goswami Pad told the Bhagavatam to Parikshit. But the main listener was Parikshit Maharaj. In the middle, also, for the other people who were sitting there, for those who were curious or were like doubtful or inquisitive, for them, Parikshit Maharaj also made many questions because of these other people who were there. And when he was making these questions, the bhava was changing, the bhava of Shukadeva, it was changing. But if there was only Shukadeva and Parikshit, if only they two were there, two of them, then the bhava will be so much different and so much expressing so much nice and higher bhavas. Only if there was only Shukadeva and Parikshit, like both, if only two of them, then who knows how much beautiful bhavas would come in that assembly. The Parikshit Maharaj will not make those questions and all these questions. And he'll be like a choke to his voice, please speak more, more, and more, and more. And in the middle, also making questions. Understand? So you should make the questions according to the context of the bhava, and then this will increase the bhava. But in Parikshit Maharaj, you see, in the Bhagavatam, you see that Parikshit Maharaj is sometimes making questions like of other contexts or different questions and like this. For example, Shukadeva was absorbed in bhava, speaking about the Rasa Lila. He was choked, his voice. Shukadeva Goswami describing the beautiful pastimes of Krishna and gopis. And then Parikshit Maharaj made a question. If Bhagavan came to establish the Varnashram Dharma, why he was doing this loving pastimes with like activities with wife of others? I don't understand. But actually, this question was not from Parikshit Maharaj. It was for the other people. Actually, Parikshit Maharaj doesn't have this kind of question in his heart. This was for other people. So like this, the Bhava of Shukadeva Goswami changed to answer that question. So Parikshit Maharaj was asking why the gopis, they have no Brahma Gyan, but they attain to God. Like the Gyanis would ask this thing, Like first you have to do the Gyan Vairagya, means you have to be renounced and have knowledge. And so because of all these questions, the Bhavantar happened, means the Bhava changed, the sentiments change. But if these questions were not there, how much Katha would Shukadeva Goswami speak and express all these high sentiments and all? So you should remember. First adivation, where was happened? Saraswati, bank of Saraswati River, Samyak Prayash. Second adivation, Parikshit in Sukartali, conversation between Shuka and Parikshit. Third one, Gomati. Third adivation means in the bank of Gomati River, conversation between Sutta Goswami and Shaunaka Rishi. It was in Naimisharanya. The first canto of Bhagavatam begins like this, in this part, adivation. The Bhagavatam begins in this thing. It's the conversation between Sutta Goswami and Shaunaka Rishi. This is also not inferior. This is so beautiful also. So beautiful kathas. And also the Shaunaka Rishi. Do you remember? 6 questions. This Shaunaka Rishis, they made six questions to Sutta Goswami. So beautiful, Harikatha. First question, what is the topmost thing for a living entity? Tell me about this. How to make God pleased. How to please God. Vasudeva Krishna is Swayam Bhagavan. For which reason? For which reason he appeared as a son of Devaki and Vasudeva? These are the questions Shaunaka Rishi made. Fourth question. Tell us some Lila Katha of Vasudeva Krishna. Of Krishna and Balaram. Tell us Katha, pastimes of Krishna Balaram. Fifth question. Tell us also some Lila Avatar Katha, means pastimes of incarnations of God. Sixth question. Bhagavan Sri Hari. When he left this material world and went to transcendental world, at that moment, Dharma took shelter of whom? Such a beautiful questions they made. Actually, these 6 questions, they are the essence of the Bhagavatam. Like answering to these questions, this is all the Bhagavatam. Like the Bhagavatam comes actually for answering all these 6 questions. You should remember these 6 questions also. Remember these 6 questions. So beautiful. This samvad means conversation between Sutta Goswami and Shaunaka Rishi. Have you ever been to this place where this happened? Banks of Gomati River. With Gurudeva I also went this place also. I had the darshan of all these places. Such a beautiful place. She's also saying, Gurudeva, also we want to go with you. Me too. So such a beautiful place. Just by listening. Sorry, forget. So, continue the Harikatha. So actually, Krishna himself, he's saying, Shrimati Radhika is my guru. Prem Guru. Shrimati Radhika is my guru in Prem. Whatever definition of Prem I know, whatever I know from of Prem, I learned from Shrimati Radhika. I learned from Shrimati Radhika, Krishna says. And I'm her disciple. I am her disciple. What is a disciple, Shishya? Not only taking mantra of Guru makes you a disciple. Not only by taking the mantra makes you a complete disciple. But actually, a true disciple, if you see that the whole definition of disciple, means the disciple accepts the chastisement of Guru. Disciple is one who accepts the chastisement of Guru. Whatever the Guru says, he accepts. Whatever Guru says. So this verbal root, shas, comes from this. Shasan means to chastise. So Arjuna himself told Krishna, I am your disciple. I completely surrender to you. So bhakti, first step of bhakti is Sharanagati, surrender. Chastise me. Gurudev, chastise me. It's not imitating. Gurudeva, sometimes you imitate. Gurudeva, chastise me also, Gurudev. But then if Gurudev chastises you, then you run away. Run away. Then you know. Then Gurudev will be far. Then you'll be far from Gurudeva thinking, oh, Gurudev insulted me in front of everyone. Gurudev insulted me in front of everyone. Isn't it? Like you'll think about this. If this is not a good Guru, I'll have to find another Guru. A Guru who? I need to find a Guru who praises me. I need to find one Guru like that. You'll be thinking like this, Then you go and you want to find another Guru. If I praise you, so the Guru should praise the disciple or the disciple praising the Guru? This is actually not a Guru who is just praising his disciples. I'll have to tell the truth. So many years, you don't even know, you cannot even say much shloka after so many years. Speak about this. Speak about Anibilash Tusunyam. Hi Gurudev, I don't remember. What do you remember? Stupid nonsense. What do you remember? So Gurudev used to speak like this. Or if Guru says this, then the disciple thinks, oh, this is a useless Guru. Will you come back in the next day? But what did Arjun say in the Gita? I am disciple of Krishna and I accept whatever you say. So how many births only for you to be established in this thing of the Bhagavad Gita? Accept the chastisement of the Guru. Please chastise me and I'll accept anything. I completely surrender to you. Whatever you say, I'll follow. I became like this shoes on your feet. Like whatever you want for me to be, I will be. How you want me to keep, I will be kept. But in Kali Yuga, how to get someone like this? How to get? Tell me. How to get a disciple, Shishya? At least 2-4 people will come. If a person has no maternal uncle, at least if you have some blind maternal uncle, is at least better than not having any uncle, you know. So if you have not proper disciple, at least someone will come. It's better than nothing. Who will take Harinam Diksha? Nobody. At least 2-4 people will come for taking initiation. So this proverb in Hindi, this is like a blind uncle is better than no uncle. At least it's an uncle. So how to get the disciple? If 2-4 people you get, it's something better than nothing. At least no, they will sit down for listening to Harikatha. Oh, Gurudev is giving Harikatha, I should listen. Then you sit down. Then also, you should praise the disciple, otherwise the disciple will run away. So it's not Bhagavad Katha, it became praise of the disciple Katha. Actually, Katha is Vyatha. Means if you don't feel some if you feel some pierce in your heart or some touch your heart, then this is a really Katha. If that Katha touches your heart, then it's really Katha. For example, if you walk, if you think and some thorn comes in your feet, then you remember, oh, I was in the Vrajamandal Parikrama and I was in that place and the thorn came in my feet in that place. Then you remember. But if you're walking with your shoes, doing the parikrama with your shoes, you not remember. You'll not be hurt. Then you not remember anything. Oh, I don't know the sense of walking in the forest, but I was wearing my shoes. So if you walk barefoot in parikrama, then your feet will be hurt, you'll be torn, will come in your feet, then all your life you'll remember this. That's why I'm saying. In time of used to do parikrama with Gurudev, Brajamana parikrama with Gurudev, some only brahmacharis and some brajavasis. We were in the dense jungle and sitting on the tractor and going everywhere. I remember this. I could not forget this. So many thorns in our feet, going to different places. I saw with my own eyes. And also we were taking donation like madhukari, Teti achar means teti pickle, and also roti, chapati from thick chapatis from Brajabasi house we were eating. I remember all this. Nowadays we're just going the bus here and there. We forget them later. What I want to say about this is so if you're hurt, then you remember that thing. If you're not hurt, you'll never remember. So some Vaishnava says kata is vyata. So kata actually, like, vyata means like you should feel the pain. If the kata gives you pain, then you remember about this. If you feel the unhappiness or something, if like the Harika touch your heart or pierce your heart, then you remember. You remember about this. So Srimati Radhika herself is saying, so Krishna is saying, when Gopis and Srimati Radhika, they speak to me all this slang language. Like these bad words and slang language. This, like these bitter words. When the Gopis tell me bitter words, I feel so much happiness. Krishna is saying, you cannot eat the neem leaves only. You have to eat with salt, and then it will also be very good for your stomach. They call me thief. They call me lampat, means a debauchee. Gopis and Srimati Radhika, what do they speak about Krishna? They glorify him? No, you are a debauchee. They like insult him. You are a liar. Somebody will say this to Narayana? Or to Ramchandra? Or it's also the Dwarika, the Mahishis, the queens of Dwarika also. They speak like this to Krishna? No. But the Gopis? You are a thief, you are a debauchee. And so many also other insults they speak to Krishna. And Krishna thinks, oh, this is so sweet for me. I'm eager to listen these kind of words. Brahma and their demigods, they tell so many Veda mantras with so many kinds of different kinds of melody and everything and tones of the voice, but still I'm not pleased. But when the gopis chastise me and speak all these bitter words, I like. That's why Chaitanya Charitamrita says this look. Krishna himself is saying so much happiness he has, because language of prema is so beautiful and gives the bliss, the happiness. This Vatsana Vakya, this chastising words of prema. If the Guru gives you like this, if the Guru chastises you in your life, you should think, he's giving so much mercy to you. Bhaktisiddhanta Prabhupada wrote this. Otherwise you're just being cheated. You're being cheated. I'm not saying that the Guru is only like just how to say, cheating you if he's praising you. No, I'm not saying this. But continue. I'm her disciple, and through the prem she makes me dance. Krishna is saying about Srimati Radhika. Prem is such a thing. The topmost prem. Sorry, so who? So in the Govinda Lamita, who wrote Govinda Lamita? Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami. And he, in Chaitanya Charitamrita, he quoted his own sloka of Govinda Lamita. The books of our Goswamis, they are so amazing. They give the evidence for their own slokas, like, because where to get this all from other places, like you cannot get. So they quote their own slokas that they themselves they made. So who wrote Chaitanya Charitamrita? Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami. And who wrote Govinda Lamita? Krishnadas Kaviraj also. And in Chaitanya Charitamrita, you see he's quoting his own other book, Govinda Lilamrita. So beautiful. This look of Govinda Lilamrita. You know this katha. One time Shrimati Radhika, she was with her friends, sitting with her friends. And then Vrinda Devi came smiling. By seeing Vrinda Devi, Shrimati Radhika thought, surely she knows about my beloved Krishna. Because Vrinda, she's a messenger. Vrinda Devi, she's a messenger. She helps so much in the meeting of Radha and Krishna. Understand? So Shrimati Radhika said, "Oh Vrinde, where are you coming from?" Then she said, "I just met Krishna. I just saw Krishna." Krishna, yes. Where is Krishna? Then Vrinda Devi said, he's in your Radha Kunda, in your Kunda. What is he doing? Shrimati Radhika asked. What is he doing in the banks of Radha Kunda? I am here. What is he doing there? Then Vrinda Devi said, Nitya Shiksha means he's learning how to dance. He's learning how to dance. But who is his guru? Who is his teacher? Shrimati Radhika asks. Because if you learn something, you need some like teacher, some guru. Who is his guru? Vrinda Devi said, so beautiful this look. Hey Radhe, in your Kunda, in the Radha Kunda, from the four directions of Radha Kunda, in the surroundings of Radha Kunda, there are so many trees, and Krishna is thinking that these trees, they are you. They are thinking that these trees, they are just like you. And he's having the teachings from the trees. From the trees, yes. When the trees, they change their position because of the wind. Like they, how to say, move because of the wind. Then Krishna is thinking, the trees are teaching me how to make the position of my head, how to put my feet and my hands. Because those who dance need to give attention to this, know how to position of your hands and neck and how to put the feet, Have you seen in some dance? You can, Bharatanatyam, for example. So Vrinda Devi saying, all the trees in the bank of your Radha Kunda, Krishna is thinking they are directly you. Krishna is thinking, having this sentiment, the trees are just like you, and he is learning how to dance from them. So beautiful. This look of Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, he wrote in Govinda Lilamrita. And he himself, in the Charitamrita, he's quoting his own other slok for evidence, to give evidence. This katha is so sweet. Krishna is Vishaya Vigraha, object of the love. Shrimati Radhika, she is Ashray Tata, shelter of love. The Ashray flows like billions of times more happiness than the Vishaya Vigraha. Krishna is which Tata? Actually, according to the Tata. Then later we speak about the Rasa Darshan. Actually, there are two kinds of to see the philosophy. Just like the two banks of the river, they are going to this in the same time. Tattva Darshan, the according to the philosophy and according to the ras. So you cannot see only the rasa darshan without considering tata darshan. You cannot see the tata darshan not considering rasa darshan. Jiva Goswami in Sandarbha explained like this: if there's only tata, only gyan, only knowledge, and only also rasa, not tata. If you have only tattva, if you have only tattva, not ras, you become Brahmavadi, impersonalist. But if you are only ras and not tattva darshan, you become sahajiya. So the palace, big palace of ras, is built upon the fundament, the base of the tattva. So if you have to make a big building, you really need strong foundation for the building. Like you have to have the soil should be good, and you have to see how much deep you have to put the foundation under the ground for the building. In time of Gurudev, the temple in Navadvip, he used to come, engineer used to come to check. 250 pillars they put for the building the temple, the building, for making the foundation on the ground of the building to be built. Then the temple will be strong. Otherwise, if there's a little bit of earthquake or some wind, the building will fall. Yes. So everything should be established upon the Tata Darshan, this all philosophy. Who is Krishna? Who is the soul? Who is the bhakti? What is everything, Established in the conclusive truths. So first, what is the Jiv? What is Jivatata? Who is the soul? That's why Sanatana Goswami, he asked the question. What is Krishna Tata, Maya Tata? Tell me all these tatas, these philosophies, Tata Darshan. That's why Jiva Goswami, he wrote also Bhakti Sandarbha. Sorry, he wrote the 6 Sandarbhas, these books. And at the end he wrote the Priti Sandarbha. So beautiful. Krishna Sandarbha, Bhagavad Sandarbha. He wrote all these Sandarbhas, Jiva Goswami. Establishing the tatas. The more you are establishing the tattva, the more you are establishing tattva, the more you'll be able to go in this ocean of prema and sweetness. But if you don't know anything about tattva, just trying this, going for rasa here and there, then no. You should be establishing the tattva. But if you have, but also not only tattva, you should at the same time also see about ras. That's why Prabhuji here is reading Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. What is the symptom of bhakti? How many kinds of bhakti? So many things about bhakti. Again and again. How many times he has giving this lecture. Sometimes he's reading Johnny Lamani, Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. If only 2-4 people listening, no problem. Because he's got everyone, 2-4 people sitting in front of him, no problem. But on Facebook, every people can hear from England and United States. I've seen this from Prabhuji, Ramachandra Prabhu. I want many people sitting. But even if you're sleeping, I just want everybody to sit down in front of me. Sorry. I couldn't understand, sorry. So this is my difference between him and me. I become surprised. Sometimes only 2 people sitting on chair and he's speaking. He's speaking. I'm surprised. Brihad Bhagavatamrita, I saw he was giving this lecture and only 2-4 people sitting. Sometimes Bhagavatam also. Bhakti Rasamrita, Ujjwal Nilamani. How many times he has read these books here? I don't even know. What are you reading? Ujjwal Nilamani. I saw the book here. And now? Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. But who are the listeners? Who is listening? Only 2 people sitting. But he doesn't care. It's not a problem for him. The Atmaram, just feeling happiness in his own self and reading. So beautiful. I've seen this in Ramachandra Prabhu. This is his speciality, I saw. Never again someone like this, and in the past also. Yeah. The Bhaktivinoda Prabhupada used to say, if there's who will speak Harikatha to? There's no one. You speak Harikatha to the four walls, because the four walls they will reflect what you're speaking, and the echo you can listen to your own echo. So Bhaktivinoda Prabhupada he wrote, just speak Harikatha, but there's no one to listen. These four walls, the four walls will hear. How they will listen? Because your own voice will reflect in these walls, and the echo will come back to you, and you can listen your own voice. So your own self you speak, and also yourself you listen the katha. For me, it's not like this. Gurudev says, like 2-4 people sitting. Sometimes I say, just sit down. If you understand or not, just sit down. I want everybody to sit. But open your eyes. Don't close your eyes. Just open your eyes in front of me. If you understand or not, anyway, I just want you to be with eyes open. No need to do anything else. I say like this. Just come and sit down for Harikatha. Maybe inside yourself you're sleeping. Some people they sleep with their eyes open. Some people sleep with eyes open. You can even sleep like that, but open your eyes. Okay, you sleep inside but yourself, but open your eyes externally for me. Just sit down at least. And so much happiness and bliss I feel. So okay, already the time, 6:30. Today is also Vishwarupa Mahotsav. He was the older brother of Mahaprabhu. Who was actually Vishwarup? Directly the manifestation of Baladev Prabhu, of Nityananda Prabhu. Chaitanya Charitamrita explains. To nourish the Leela, then he, according to Jogamaya, arranged that he took sannyas and he left the house. He's directly Baladev Prabhu, Nityananda Prabhu. And also he met, Nityananda Prabhu also met Mahaprabhu later. So to nourish the Leela and everything like that, Vishwarupa he took sannyas and left the house. Vishwarupa he used to go to school of Advaita Acharya to learn all these vidyas, knowledge. And Mahaprabhu at that time he was small. Sometimes Mahaprabhu, for some excuse, he also used to go to the school of Advaita Acharya. Advaita Acharya understood, this is the same Krishna. The Chaitanya Bhagavata explains how they were speaking to each other at that time. Nimai, Advaita Acharya used to tell him, sorry, I didn't understand exactly what they said to each other, but Chaitanya Bhagavata explains. So, like Nimai was such a beautiful boy and so beautiful. Advaita Acharya used to think he's so beautiful, and Advaita Acharya is the same Mahavishnu and Sadashiv. And Mahaprabhu is the same. Krishna with the mood of Srimati Radhika. So beautiful. Then in the house of the Advaita Acharya, so Vishwarupa heard all these Harikathas from Advaita Acharya and he became renounced. If after listening Harikatha you don't feel renunciation in your heart, actually you're not listening properly, Gurudev said. I'm not talking about Markat Vairagya, monkey renunciation, but actually the true renunciation comes from your heart. This sannyasa of Vishwarupa shows this. Advaita Acharya used to speak so many things, all the tattvas and everything, and after listening everything, Vishwarupa thought the essence of life is Krishna bhajan. And the sannyasa is the topmost thing. What is the fruit of knowledge is? Fruit of knowledge is Krishna Bhakti. So first you have this renunciation in your heart, but not a forced renunciation, but a natural renunciation. The fruit of listening is like this: have the natural renunciation come in your heart, spontaneous in your heart, this renunciation. So what is the essence of life? Why we are stuck in the clutches of Maya and take sannyasa? What is the meaning of sannyas? Give up everything and just do the bhajan of Govinda. Like the 11th canto of Bhagavatam. That Vipra, which Brahmana, what's his name? He was thinking, I'll give up everything and I'll only serve Govinda. Mahaprabhu also told about sannyas. Mahaprabhu said, it's not only thing about putting a different cloth. Not only about this. It's a cloth you put, yeah, but internally, the Krishna Govinda Bhajan, how should be firmly established and staying in Vrindavan internally, always, after taking sannyas. Means alone and one point only you should do the bhajan of Govinda. You should be established in your own transcendental form and serve Govinda. This is the meaning of like sannyas. So Vishwarupa left, giving up all the illusion of Maya and attachments of Maya. He left the bondage of Maya, and then his father Jagannatha Mishra also disappeared after Vishwarupa took sannyas. So Jagannatha Mishra, he disappeared, and also Vishwarupa took sannyas, and Nimai was small, and he was pacifying his mother. Mother, why are you crying? I will not take sannyas. I will take care of you. I will not take sannyas. Then Mahaprabhu also got married, and 2 wives. First Lakshmi Priya, but then Lakshmi Priya disappeared. Then Mahaprabhu married Vishnu Priya. And then Mahaprabhu, what did he do? He took sannyas from Keshava Bharati. Mahaprabhu took sannyas, and then he went to Jagannath Puri. And then after that, he took some excuse of searching his own brother, and he went to the south of India, actually to deliver people from there. So make this flow of prem in south of India. Mahaprabhu went there, and he had the darshan of so many tirtha, pilgrimage place, and also he gave prem to everyone in south of India, and also he cut the arguments of so many impersonalists and all. So Mahaprabhu was there when he knew about his brother. What is the name of that place where he was? Bhima Nadi. In the banks of the Bhima Nadi, this river. So there Mahaprabhu got to know, oh yeah, your brother Vishwarup, he took sannyas, but his name became, what's the name of Vishwarup? Sannyas name of Vishwarup? Krishnaranya, something like that. And after some days, he disappeared. Then Mahaprabhu, after so many days, so Mahaprabhu finally heard about how his sannyas took sannyas, his brother, and also he disappeared. And in the same Chaturmasya, now, before in Chaturmasya, 4 months, everybody was following completely. Actually, Chaturmasya is for whom? Actually, Chaturmasya is not for sannyasis, only for brahmachari, vanaprasthi, and for example, nowadays we're not actually sannyasi, because sannyasi, whatever they get, they accept. Means whatever like Hari Bhaktivilasa explains. Actually, Chaturmasa, one should. Brahmacharis, Grihastas, even Aprastis, they should follow Chaturmasya. But for sannyasi, they should not follow the Chaturmasya. Because they are like beyond of all these rules, they are in another thing, you know. We can see this actually. But still, the sannyasa dharma is the highest thing. And if the higher person doesn't follow that behavior, the juniors will also not follow. That's why the sannyasa also need to do also all these rules, you know. Because they're like the seniors, everybody will follow them like this. So, because the sannyasis are the higher people, they should follow also Chaturmasya, like to give example to the others. Like, should not cut your nails. Should I follow? I don't actually. We're following the Chaturmasya. The Hari Bhakti Vilas is so strict about, for example, 4 months without cutting nails, not cutting hair, not even put the oil, not put soap in your body for 4 months. With earth, you should wash yourself with earth, like mud. You should not sleep on bed. One time Gurudev said, it's written in Hari Bhakti Vilas. Gurudev wrote an article. 4 months not sleep on the bed, just on the floor, and not anything you should put. Just a thin cloth put on the floor and just sleep there. Just eat 1 time a day, and just to keep your body. You think about what Hari Bhakti Vilas is saying. What is Chaturmasya? Are we doing that or not? We are fighting about taking tomato, and tomato is not even written in the Shastra. It's not even written in the Shastra. And Gurudev one time told about this, and everybody's speaking about this. And in 56, the article of Gurudev wrote about Chaturmasya, he's not speaking about Chaturmasya in that article. But one time there was like a 2 rupees tomato became 40 rupees. And those who are older in the temple, you can ask them how in Mathura, one time the tomato was 2 rupees and became 40 rupees the kg, I think. Then Premananda Prabhu asked, how will you buy the tomato? It's so expensive. Then Gurudeva said, don't need the tomato in Chaturmasya, no need, like stop. And people are fighting over this. But at article of Gurudeva, he wrote in 56 about Chaturmasya. You can read this, not anything about tomato. This article, they publish in a Harmonies now, this article of Gurudev. That same article. The 1956, Gurudev wrote an article about Chaturmasya. And you can see, he didn't even write about tomato in that article. I was with Gurudev. And Gurudev used to eat tomato in Chaturmasya. Ekadashi also, in Devanand Gurimat, they were eating tomato. And in Ekadashi, everybody who did parikrama until 2003 in the Ekadashi, everybody who did parikrama until 2003 in Devanand Gurimat, they also ate tomato in Ekadashi. They ate tomato in Ekadashi. Because tomato is not written. Whatever is not written in the Shastra. But for example, you don't have the association of ladies, okay, but if you think about all these associations of ladies, or speak about this, actually you're associating with ladies. So if you only speak about not taking tomato, all this, actually you're taking. So some people say, those who are eating tomato, they're not following Gurudev instruction. Then I wrote, are you following Chaturmasya actually? You cannot do the bhajan like Rupa Sanatan actually. Can you sleep all night under one tree? Chaitanya Charitamrita explains how Rupa Sanatan was doing the bhajan. We are not doing like them. We cannot do. These are unfortunate. We don't have all this potency. We stay in Vrindavan. We do like the most we can, but the Rupa Sanatan were ideal, we pray to them. When this day will come for us, when this day will come that we'll be able to do something like them, like this. I'm not saying the Shastra is wrong, but we cannot do it, what is written in Shastra. So this is our lacking. So I'm not speaking anything like we cannot do. This is our unfortunate. We cannot do that. For example, the Hari Bhakti Vilas said so many rules for Chaturmasya, like sleep on the floor. I remember. After listening to this Katha of Gurudev, I took out my bed from the room and slept on the floor. Next day, I had fever, became sick. Gurudev slapped me and said, "Oh, like no, you are not like Rup Sanatan. You should follow under their instructions, not imitate them. We cannot do that. Do sleep on the floor one day, you will see what happened to you. Just directly on the floor, like in the month of Kartik, and you'll realize what happens to you with that cold. Next day, for sure, you'll be admitted in the hospital. You'll be like on a drip, you know. I'm not saying I'll not say this about this. Whatever is written, we speak about and we pray. Well, maybe one day, when this day will come, like Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, when this day will come, we'll be able to follow all this. So we pray that this day will come. These rules Hari Bhakti Vilasa gave, we cannot do. So we'll not speak about this? No, we'll speak about, but still we cannot do. We'll listen about these rules and we'll pray so that we'll be able to follow. When this day will come, that just like Rupa and Raghunath, we'll be able to do the bhajan with renunciation. When I'll be like Rupa Raghunath and Sanatana Goswami, doing the bhajan like them. So the Hari Bhakti Vilasa wrote many rules and we pray so that we'll be able to follow this. This is true. Here also, I cannot stay without beans and tomato here in Delhi. Okay. They accepted, they agreed. So nowadays you see, some people eat, some people don't eat. It's good, okay. I remember everything. In Delhi, so many Punjabi people, they want to take the beans. And without tomato, how possible? No, the taste of the beans. You know, because beans also not supposed to take in Chaturmas. They also serving here, and like, some people eat, some people not eat. But the intense, it's how much name of God you were chanting. Not speak of others and like this. This is the main thing. You cannot have the bhakti just by eating tomato, but everything depends on the bhajan. You should follow what is favorable for your body. For example, I took the bed out of my room because Gurudev said 4 months you should sleep on the floor. Gurudev beat me. He slapped me. You're crazy. Don't imitate. You should do the bhajan. The Rupa Goswami, the Rupa and Sanatana, they used to put mosquito net. You know, the mosquito. If you don't put the mosquito net, you'll also be bitten by mosquitoes and you'll come to the hospital. And when Sanatana Goswami, he was there in Govardhan, he was going away. He didn't want to stay there because of the mosquitoes. Shivaji said, "No, I'll give blessing. Not any mosquito will be here." But would Shivaji listen? What you're saying? Like if we're bothered by mosquitoes, nothing will change like this. But no, we cannot compare with these Siddha Mahatmas, all these saints. So I will finish Harikatha because now it's time. So for 4 months, you should not cut your nails and put the hair also. But when Mahaprabhu knew that his brother left the body according to the rituals of people in this world, After 2 months, or exactly this day of today, Mahaprabhu, he shaved. So in the Panjika is written today, the calendar is written, we should after 2 months you should cut the nails and the hair, the beard, This is actually mercy to us. After 2 months, we're already thinking, oh my God, this beard is so bad, giving trouble to me. And some people, they have beard, such a big beard, some people. The mothers and sisters, it's okay, because they don't have this problem. God gave a very nice body to the ladies because they don't have the beard, No need to cut anything here to shave it. But after 2 months, it's like itching. I don't know, this beard giving so much discomfort. And also Bhaktivinoda Swami Maharaj today in Keshava Gauriya Math, he took sannyas.